Let's look at the issue of funding, which I think is very critical
Yes, it is.
to agriculture development. I do not know the percentage of budgets that your state government has actually put aside for agriculture development vis-a-vis other state governments in Nigeria. Do you think it should be on the increase, going back the potentials in that sector?
The truth is, most governments pay lip service to agriculture. As I always say, the head is there, the heart isn't there. And once the heart isn't there, you can't get too much done. Once you think agriculture does not deserve beyond 3% or below, chances are your attention to agriculture will be 3% and below. We are one of those progressive states where we have our budget between 4 and 6% on a yearly basis. I think for the current year, it's actually between 6 and 10. That's been proposed. I need to see the final because we just did a budget defense between Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, and I've been able to justify why we need the sort of monies we've asked for in the Ministry of Agric. Funding generally, I think apart from maybe the support services, state governments should not actually engage in the business of farming. They should should be seen more to support what the farmers are doing. There are several donor agencies out there that support agriculture in different and various ways. I'll speak to 2 of such agencies, that, in fact 3, that we're partnering with. One of them, as I think last week, they're based, I think, in Italy. They were with us. And one of the things they've asked to support us with is the value chain around cassava and rice. I've spoken several about cassava and rice this morning because the state's land is prolific for the cultivation of those 2. I mean, they want to now come in and say, you know what, to increase your production, to tap the processing and other aspects of the value chain, we will support you. $105 million over the next 3 years. Fantastic offer. All they're asking the state government to do is create offices and get the staff. But that the funds we will make available. Another agency, they've come to us, they say, we know that there is a prevalence of tomato wilt when you do open field cultivation for tomatoes. We are looking to minimize this and have this yield. Test it. We gave them about 10 hectares of land to test it. The yield bountiful and all. Now we intend to roll out. Because you see, you cannot look at it solely from the perspective of, did we physically receive funds? Those are seeds that are going to assist my farmers, increase their yield, and ultimately those will be attributable to my state. Thirdly, there's also another agency which is now interested in planting, I think they're in the neighboring state already, I think Ogun State, about 4,000 hectares of land of cassava. And we've said to them, fair enough, we have the land. But we also have our limitations when it comes to land clearing. Because the sort of equipment we currently have can only do so much clearing per day. And I just got their letter, I think this week, to say, fair enough. Now we understand where your needs lie. We will support you with the equipment, and we'll also ensure that
I'm just going to ask you about technology and how you're going to employ it to drive agricultural development in the state. And of course, how do you think that we can take advantage of technology right now to increase production and ensure that we get the results that we need?
Again, it's all these donor agencies and also our research institutes and centers that are located in the country. And also, of course, our universities. You cannot put them on the back burner. They're constantly working to ensure that we have improved varieties and all. But the truth is, if they do all that research and you do not get to disseminate it, it's absolutely worthless. So what you do is you have a dedicated unit that has extension, which focuses extension services. So they have extension agents that go into the very, very farthest, remotest areas of the state, again to impart on the farmers that, okay, these are the seedlings we have now, or these are the cuttings of cassava that we have now. Can you plant them over the little holdings? Like I've said earlier, you also have pockets of, you have agencies which focus solely on aggregating these small-sized holdings. Who don't want those farmers to become extinct? Because there's that possibility of when you start massive land clearing, employing the youth and what have you, you tend to forget those. But their focus is on these small holding farmers, so that you aggregate them and their produce, and they can also take advantage of all these initiatives and technologies that we have.
Just before I let you go, let's talk about the markets for agricultural produce. I look at Ogun State, Lagos is closer to Ogun,
yes,
if I'm not mistaken. And somehow, we tend to take most of your product to use
Absolutely,
them.
yes.
So how do you create more markets, or how should other state governments in the country, not just about Ogun State now, create the market that is needed for these products to go into and make your money?
Thankfully, the Southwest has like a fresh breath, or rather a new lease of life, a breath of fresh air. And the governors are working together. Just last week, Ekiti State hosted the Southwest Forum on Agriculture, and I happened to be there with a couple of my colleagues from the other states. And one thing that's constantly being drummed into our ears is the fact that we need to leverage on each other's strengths. Lagos, for instance, they have no business being in production because they don't even have the land. The land is too valuable. So we have the land to support what they're doing. And once we know what it is that the needs are, we identify, we do a needs analysis, a gap analysis. We plug into those, and that's what informs the sort of deployment of produce that we do into the state. But like I've said over and over again, it behoves on the leadership of each of the state governments to codify what they intend to achieve with agriculture into policies that are easy to disseminate. And I'm glad to say that the administration of His Excellency Senator Ibikunle Amusu has been that focused on this, and I believe we're delivering results. And over time, because agriculture, of course, has a long gestation period, over time, those will be more visible than they currently are.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think I've been told to close the show. Thank you very much for your time with us on the program. We're talking to Ibirunke Shokefun. She is the Commissioner for Agriculture in Ogun State. Of course, today has been been a mouthful of presentation for everyone out there. A lot of information have been given to you to also digest. Earlier on, we talked about corporate social responsibility and now agriculture in the state. And that's where we will draw the curtain on this Friday's edition of Business Morning. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We appreciate your time with us. We hope to see you again on Monday. Bye for now.